listening to Cleveland and Beyond with Andy Billman and Jared Watson, brought to you by Evergreen Podcasts.
And we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. He's Andy Billman. I'm Jared Watson, and this podcast is brought to you by Waiting for Next Year. Check them out, original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. Also, we are brought to you by Evergreen Podcasts. Draft Night 2021 in Cleveland, Ohio was a success. Draft Night 2 for this wonderful podcast was an absolute success. And here we are about to review all of the picks, everything that the Browns have done well. Everybody is giving nothing but praises for Andrew Berry. And I believe, and so does Andy, they deserve every bit of it. Between the city and the team, lots to be proud of, lots to be excited for, and we're going to jump into that in a few minutes. We're also going to talk about the Cleveland Indians. They've made a couple of roster moves, swinging things around with a couple of guys. One guy had a baby, one guy's got a groin injury, another guy can't pitch all that well right now. They've made some moves, round and round they go, but they're treading water and still above 500, so we'll take it for now. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, well, I don't know. You want to talk about them? We're gonna. Kevin Love? Maybe. Everybody injured? Sure. It's fun. Did we really need to be told that they were eliminated from playoff contention? I don't think anyone needed to say that. We knew. Will they even win another game this season?
I think that's the question.
But first, let's talk about the team that makes all of us happy right now, the Cleveland Browns. Andy?
Cleveland Browns.
Hello, Ben Stewart. What's up? I can't wait for the
man?
Browns season either. Howdy, Damon, my fellow IG friend.
Hey, Damon. Welcome, brother.
So here's where I lead off with tonight. I'm going to do a full circle. The Cavs are with the Cavs. The Indians, Luplo's back tonight. I'm going to talk more about my excitement about Harold Ramirez. I'm excited about him. And the Indians, I actually must admit, hey, guys. Hey, Kevin Atkins. Good to see you, Kevin. I haven't seen you in a while.
What's up, Kevin? How you been, man?
I thought that was a really good win last night for the Tribe. But we really should lead off with the Indians, and it's more of a story. And Browns, It's really more of a story about not just the Browns, but the city of Cleveland from what Jared and I experienced. These 14, 15 months of the pandemic have been hard. They've been very much a grind, and we're not going to relive that. What I felt, and Jared, I don't want to speak for you too much, I felt like, it was very safe. It was very cautious. I didn't feel in danger. And we're more the probably overly prickly guys about COVID. It was a great, safe, cool experience. I just thought the city of Cleveland hit it out of the park. It felt alive. It's the first time since February of 2020. I didn't remember I was in a pandemic. And it was just excitement. And to what Ben Stewart is saying earlier about can't wait for the Brown season, it really culminated with what, obviously Steeler game last year, winning, going back to Pittsburgh, winning that game. But this draft and the excitement and just serendipitous it's in Cleveland, all this momentum. It's rare when it's not just Browns fans, but it's everyone nationally is behind the Browns bandwagon. So the great news is I think there's nothing overrated here. I don't.
Well,
we're gonna go through everything.
Jumping back to the time that we spent downtown, we went down there Thursday night, and we really weren't sure exactly what our plan was going to be. The weather, I planned on shooting a bunch of video and B-roll, and we were going to head down to the stage area and do a lot of walking around, but that weather just was not permitting for any of that. So cameras got left in the bags, and we're like, let's just wing it social media style as best we can on Instagram at Official Cleveland Sports, and we were doing that. And it worked out for us in that capacity. And then on top of that, just the way that things were run, Andy, yeah, you're right. We had a good time where we were at. Both of us are fully vaccinated. And I think that definitely makes me feel a lot better about things. I'm guessing a lot of folks are vaccinated. If they're not, I hope you get to it. And I hope you were at least wearing your mask while you're down there. But nonetheless, I'm not here to preach at you about that. But what I wanted to say is just that atmosphere, that even despite the rain, the atmosphere was still everything that you would want in an NFL draft. Now, we watched those picks come in, and 1 and 2 were the ones that really catapulted the Browns to all of these national media folks and Pro Football Focus and everybody giving the Browns an A. And that was because they somehow were able to land 2 first-round draft picks, guys who were interchangeable in a lot of people's mocks with the Browns and whether they were going, one of these guys was going to get picked, but to end up with both of them, with Greg Newsome, with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and have them both on this team, it's unreal. Javius Hurd on Facebook. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go, baby. Absolutely. That was unexpected. They had to move up just a little bit, and it worked out perfectly. Now, we're going to get into the why on Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in a couple of minutes here. Matthew Bruning, what was that? Andrew Berry is the GOAT. Only team and GM with an A+ grades in the past 2 years. Yeah, from Pro Football Focus. Exactly. I saw that. So thanks for highlighting that, Matthew. So my point is, I don't know. Is there anything to complain about? Anything? And
very little. I mean, it's very minute. And, here I'll go through a few things. Newsome worked out perfectly. You don't judge things afterwards like, well, what if this team took this guy and Newsome wasn't there? Hey, it worked out, and it worked out perfectly. And then to get JOK to move up and to get him, and I think to steal the draft. I watch a lot of college football. That kid Schwartz is nasty for Auburn. Nasty. Ben Stewart, fucking A right. Win the North, folks. Winning the North. And Ben, you're doing a good job. I'm watching the Indians games. We do the podcast. I love the Cavs. Can't do it. I'll watch them later. I can't do it. I'm glad to hear the Cavs going down too. Anderson Varejao night, obviously bringing the energy. But the big thing is for this year now that we talked about on a podcast and for City that I'll pick up here again. Expectations should be high, and they need to be. This is a really, really good team. And we're going to go off to some of their additions they made just in the last 48 hours. Signed that kid out of Florida State and signed the other gentleman who just got out of prison, who with a lot of baggage, but, comes in with a lot of talent. So the Browns have a lot going on. It's all positive. What's amazing to me, Jared, step away. Did we remember we have one of the best offenses in the league? I bet you talk to people, and one of the best things they talk about is defense, which is great, which is wonderful. But it just is so exciting to see all the excitement we felt about the offense last year is now translated to the defense.
It was a 2-year plan this way, apparently, correct? I mean, that's at least what it seems like and what it sounds like and what it feels like. They loaded up the offense last season. Mm-hmm. They kept some guys. They moved some. They did everything they need to do. We got the 2 tight ends we want. We drafted the young tight. We got everything we need offensively. The 2-headed beast of Chubb and Hunt. And once you do that, then you can spend this draft. My phone is blowing up right now. I apologize for the distraction, by the way. A certain somebody is calling me no names, please, and he won't stop. Any rate, the way that they were able to do things in that secondary, where I guess nationally a lot of folks did think that they were still going to go with edge. They didn't. I mean, I never really thought that they needed to do anything
after Clowney.
More. No, after Clowney, no, they're good. They're good, right? And then they got that. Look, there's going to be people. Let's jump to this real quickly because we know it's out there, and that is the reason that the Browns were able to get Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and the conversation to that is that there was some sort of heart issue. Now, it wasn't talked about. The Browns didn't talk about it until recently. They're saying he's cleared. So where's the issue there? In my mind, he's going to have a long, wonderful career in Cleveland, Ohio. He fits the part of everything they would want in their style of defense. He's not the prototypical linebacker, but he's a guy that can play in coverage. There's a no, it's not like they took him as the first pick. So there's no reason to complain about that if there were some sort of health issue to worry about. So is that a worry, Andy? Because on my standpoint, from where I'm looking at it, no. And I don't care. He was cleared.
If he's cleared, he's cleared. You got to believe in what the Browns are doing. What's exciting about this team is Newsome coming in, JOK coming in. Jared, do they need to make big plays as they come in as rookies? No. Are we expecting Schwartz to come in there and make big plays? No. This is the first time I can remember where people are coming in where it's like, Newsome's going to be expected to start, but you do have Greedy, You obviously have Denzel Ward, and you got the guy Hill. So you got people around ready to start and ready to rock and roll. JOK's not going to be expected to start either. Schwartz is definitely not going to be expected to start. And you got everybody else. This is the first time I can remember as a fan, outside of Newsome, that the Browns' expectations of starters is not there. That's why this is so exciting. You're having guys coming in again to complement. Everything is about complementing the team. How do we move forward to get to the championship? How are we doing big things? How many times it's been expected, like, oh my God, well, fucking Wills better start. That was it last year.
Well,
I don't even think with Newsome is that guy. I really don't.
We can't forget about the guys that we're waiting to develop from last season too.
That's right.
We've got Greedy Williams, who we want to see on the football field. We've got Grant Delpit, who we want to see on the football field. We've got guys on that defensive line that are going to hopefully develop and step in as well. So this is all just padding. And they're all going to have a chance to stand out. And that secondary, oh goodness, I cannot wait till this. I can't fucking wait till this season, man.
You just get the feeling the Browns are ready to smack people around. Now, the other big news story. So again, Andrew Berry take a bow, Paul DePodesta take a bow. Yeah. I mean, even if these players don't work out, the draft was a success, meaning you did the right things. We're not saying Newsome's going to be a star or whoever. I mean, time will tell. But they did the right draft picks. Jared, this is the first time I can remember as a Browns fan where they're developing an environment and a community to win long term. It isn't like we're relying on the draft to win 10 games. We're relying on these guys to not only win 10 games, but 13 or 14 games. And they are not going to be the key pieces. It's the first time I can, Jared, I never remembered a draft where it's like we're hedging our season on Greg Newsome. We're really not.
No.
We're really not.
No, and that's the difference, because I know there are going to be folks out there who say everybody thinks they had a great draft. Everybody thinks that their guys that they picked for their team is going to be, that they all should get, at least a lot of them A+. The team did great. Oh yeah, I know Bengals fans that think that they had a great draft. I don't know how that, but you know what I mean.
I can understand the excitement. That kid from LSU is good.
Well, okay,
he's good.
He is. I don't think that's what they needed at the moment. Well, maybe a little bit, but there's other things I would have focused on.
Not our fucking problem.
No, it's not. But point being, it's on paper. It's on paper. I get it. It's on paper. And that's fine. Because guess what? There's, I don't know, a ton of other guys that are on paper that have already proven themselves and that will be playing. And again, like you said, if these guys develop and it works out, great. Absolutely great. We all know that the draft is a crapshoot. Let's just hope that Andrew Berry, which we believe he did.
He knows what he's doing.
Knows what he's doing. Got the guys that are, you never know what's going to happen with any of these guys. Yeah, on the day of the draft.
And the day of the draft, just fucking just hitting home runs. Javius Hurd, JOK has to start. Our linebackers were a clown show last year. They're worse on third down. Here's what I would say about JOK. You got Walker. Walker's a run stopper. I thought Talkie improved. I know it sounds crazy. I thought Talkie these last 6-7 games, JVS actually played pretty well.
And
now
I wouldn't close the book on Wilson either, on Mac Wilson. I know he's working his ass off.
Big summer camp.
It's a proven season for him. It's a
big summer coming for him. Now, I want JOK to be playing on spots, JVS. I do. And I know what you're alluding to. But that's why I like this. Here's the difference. Let's actually compare it to the Indians and the Browns. I love this. This is putting pressure on Talkie and Mac Wilson to improve. That's what sports is about. You're putting people in place to get better. And by the way, it's not really easy for Grant Delpit. We're expecting a lot out of him. Grant Delpit better perform. He's not going to play because there's other people now in place that can play in front of Grant Delpit.
Exactly.
Here's the difference. What happens if Jake Bauer stinks? We put in Yu Chang. Is Yu Chang good? No. It's like you don't have anybody else to go to. Naylor can't play first, so it's like you're just kind of juggling. So the first base situation is what the Browns linebacker situation was last year, where you would be like, well, Talkie's is hell of a lot better than some of these other guys towards the end of the year, but the other guys were that shitty. So I know what you're saying, Javius, and you're right. I will say in fairness, I thought Talkie, I thought he played better he isn't good or great, but he's played better. Wilson took a huge step backwards, and you hope the best for the kid this year.
You're looking at a team that really is going to rely on that defensive line and that secondary, and so you're hoping that the linebackers come around. But that's what I'm saying. That defense, yes. That if Clowney can set the, I don't even look. Clowney set the edge. They can only double and triple how many guys. There's this defense is improved tenfold, and there's a little bit of depth now in some of these positions. So
don't forget about Myles Garrett, folks. Guys, fucking.
Have you seen him? This whole offseason has been.
It's just he is a fucking stud. Now
he's a freak of nature, is what he is.
He's unbelievable. So all this defense was the focus. Here's some quotes from Andrew Berry. I thought they were interesting. Quote. We knew that going into the 2020 season, our primary focus would be the offensive side, which we saw. Supporting the quarterback and making sure that the quarterback got the support. This year, 2021, is a little bit unique in that we have more turnover on the defensive side of the ball than offense. We had a number of unrestricted free agents, and many of them were on that side of the ball. We love the guys we brought in the offseason, and we're optimistic, end quote. The reason why I bring this up is, and it seems like Captain Obvious quote, but he actually had a real plan. And that's why I think this has a real chance of being long-term.
Right.
Look, we're all excited about 2021. I'm the most excited. But I am realizing as I'm driving around today, this is a 10-year run. I would be stunned if this is not a 10-year run. It feels like a 10-year run. They're actually here's the difference. And this is where I laugh. And we should all laugh. The Steelers drafted players, and they actually have to fucking start and perform.
The expectations that are on those guys, Andy.
Joy, take care. By the way, the Bengals, I like that kid at LSU. He better fucking start. There's no more AJ Green. There is no plan B. He's either good or your team stinks again. This is the difference. These players you brought in, you're not expected to lift the team.
Right. What is Anthony Schwartz there for? Wide receiver.
To develop.
To develop.
And the kid's fast. Nasty fast.
James Hudson, offensive tackle and guard. Does he have to start right away?
In 2 years. And by the way, you might play in starts. Maybe you're battling blank hands for the 6th or 7th spot. Okay. That's what we're talking about here.
Tony Fields from West Virginia. Just one more of those linebackers that kind of fits the same.
Teams?
Fits, yeah, and does, yeah, special teams. He doesn't, well, special teams will be, get out there on special teams. But he fits that same defensive scheme the way that JOK does.
Again, it's all about what this is long-term. Javius, again, I'm excited to see Clowney too with all the help he has up front on Facebook. I agree.
Good comment.
Again, all this is building up to now to the elephant in the room. There's only one. It's not negative, just being honest, because I was hard on him. The days of Mr. Woods' excuses are done. It is time to perform as defensive coordinator. If we see that same shit we saw on Monday Night Football with Lamar Jackson running over the field, not going to be a happy podcast on Tuesday.
Well, let me remind you of this.
Time to perform.
I did see some, and I'm not trying to knock this person, but I did see some comments. A certain guy in Cleveland sports who made the comment, and I was just passing through it on Twitter like I always do. That was, this team looks like it's getting itself ready and building itself for the Chiefs and not necessarily the Ravens. And I would argue that's not true.
I actually would not agree with that either, because Clowney's biggest thing is stopping the run from the outside.
Right. And the way that they're working linebacker in this draft as well, and the way that I genuinely believe that this is.
Yeah, I actually don't agree with that comment at all.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Because I thought they actually took Clowney. I mean, Clowney is a pass rusher, but his actually strength is in stopping the run. And that's where we had the worst trouble in forever. Anybody gets around a corner for the Browns, forget it. Can't stop them. Can't stop them. Can't. And then Clowney's going to help. And that, I hate to point out that eyesore, that Monday Night Football game, I'll never forget. It was literally, I mean, Lamar Jackson's a hell of a player. We all know that. But my God, it was embarrassing how badly the Browns couldn't stop the run.
Couldn't stop.
So I actually think the Browns, I think people are trying to overanalyze this.
Yes.
The Browns actually made the best decisions to make the best defense possible. You can't have everything perfect. That's where people are. Well, they're a little thin and they're not going to. You can't fucking do everything perfect. They can't do everything perfect. And by the way, what did they do after the draft? I want to get to this. This is how high-strung and how much they are into doing this. They sound this guy, Malik McDowell. Now, Malik McDowell's got that as a checker pass.
Got a messy pass. He does.
He was arrested, never made the football field, had to go to prison for time, and is now out, but is a highly regarded talent. We'll have to see. He hasn't played football since 17, I believe. Let me make sure I got that right. I think it's 17 or 18. So he hasn't played football in 2 or 3 years. And then they got this guy out of Florida State. And let me make sure I got his name. Marvin
Which, by the way,
Wilson.
I just want to throw this out here. Let's just throw this out here, too. McDowell's 6'6", 280. That's a big boy.
I mean, they are taking players like that because they know, again, you're not relying on him. If he doesn't work out, you just cut him. This team can take this is the big difference. This team can now handle this. McDowell, come on here 3 years ago, be like, why are we signing McDowell?
Right, it would be frustrating.
We can't handle this. We can barely handle Tiger.
Well, we didn't have the culture to bring in a guy like that. We didn't have the infrastructure to support him if he does need that support in staying on the straight and narrow. It wasn't there. But do you trust this coaching staff?
Yes.
You trust? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because they hold guys accountable. They lay out the expectations. They don't baby anybody, and everybody's on board. And if you're not, see.
There's leadership inside and outside the building, meaning inside the huddle to outside. And that's why I think this look.
And I do believe in second chances.
He took the ultimate price. I mean, he went to prison. So, he's definitely paid his
dues.
I mean, he definitely paid. That's why when I heard someone today go, well, it's like, well, I mean, if you go to prison, that's about as tough as it gets. I mean, so the guy's out. You got to see what he can do now. He's been charged. He's been arraigned. I mean, my God, what else can you do? I just think these are the kind of moves, too, where it's like the Browns are ready for this. I actually think the Browns are ready for those moves. The Browns can handle this stuff. Do I think the Cavs could have handled Porter Jr.? I actually don't know. I thought the best thing to do is let him go. Because the Cavs can't handle it right now. The Browns can handle McDowell.
Don't get me started on that. We'll get to that in a little bit.
50 points the other night.
I don't want to talk about it.
Windler's out for the year. Again, poor kid. Can't stay healthy. The concussion list is growing for the Cavs, too. Poor guys. And seriously, Cavs are just sad.
So what we're saying here.
I don't blame you, Ben Stewart. Can't watch him either.
So what we're saying here is the Browns draft was a success, and another part of what made it a success and the free agency is that the expectations for these guys isn't that they need to be plug and play ready.
For the first time, we're building something for long term and for success this year. They're bringing in this tackle. Why? Because they're going to groom him for 2 years. If it doesn't work out, they draft someone else. But at least they have things in play. This is the first, I'm not just saying this, it's the first time I can ever remember where I'm seeing real depth.
Yeah.
Like if Schwartz was asked to start, which we've been down that road. Oh my gosh, I would be nervous.
Well, and let's not forget this too, Andy, that Andrew Berry and company, that those guys are still in touch with Sheldon Richardson in his camp. And there is a possibility.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back though. I don't think he's coming back.
Well,
in fact, I would actually
he's coming back or not. The fact is, it's a possibility if they need him back. If they find out if they make it work,
take a big discount. Hey, if he takes a big discount, I would welcome Richardson in with open arms.
Yeah, the way
but he's taking
he's going to.
That's a huge. I mean, why would they? He would really sign for like $2 million, $3 million. I mean, really take a pay cut.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to him. But I mean, if I were him, I just feel it reminds me of that year we had Perryman. I totally get why Richardson's gone. And honestly, Richardson, if he really wants real playing time, should probably go somewhere else.
Hey, Jarvis Landry, Baker Mayfield, those guys are working out together.
Florida.
David Njoku, Rashard Higgins, Austin Hooper. All those guys, working out.
OBJ?
No, stop. We don't need to get into that yet.
OBJ?
OBJ is still technically rehabbing, so we can't even.
Des Bryant's reporting. Did you see I put that in the rundown?
I did.
Des Bryant's reporting. He looks good. By the way, cannot believe I'm saying this. I'm actually fine with all of this. I think in a normal year this would be driving me crazy, but right now I'm like, whatever.
No, I'm fine with it because he's rehabbing. He's technically rehabbing, and then Baker's talked. According to Baker, he's talked to him.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I trust in everything that's going on. It's a little weird, but I trust it.
But you know why I trust it? Because that core is so strong that if the Browns do something that they have to do, if it does come to that, which I don't even want to talk about it because I'm not trying to entertain this idea, but I guess I'm going to. If they do have to trade Odell down the road, if it doesn't work out, how frustrating. It's not. How much of a distraction do you think it's going to be? Because I think this team can handle it. I
don't think it's going to come up this year at all. In fact, if it does, it means the season's not working out. I think next year is a very, very, very different discussion. But
next year we don't even know. I know, right? Next year, a lot of people have said it's a foregone conclusion that he won't be there.
You can't re-sign some of these guys and re-sign Odell. I mean, you just can't.
Right. And like I've said a few times, I think the only thing that really would bring you to pause is if they actually do win a Super Bowl this year.
That changes everything.
That changes everything.
But again, here's another example too. Let's say Higgins continues to grow. Peoples-Jones continues to grow. And Schwartz is as good as we think we are. Yeah. You do look at OBJ and you go,
Yeah, and maybe you can keep Landry around at that point too.
Maybe. Landry and OBJ are big discussions for next year, not this year.
Well, the reason that I get hyped up on Landry is because we know what his presence is in that locker room, and we know
tough as nails.
We know what he's going to be.
Tough as nails.
Yeah, you ever play wide receiver in the NFL with a broken rib? You ever do that? God bless, that would suck. Imagine trying to go to bed at night.
I was really pissed off on Saturdays. I didn't cut my nails, so no. Cannot imagine playing with a broken rib.
So
look, it's all about the excitement. The hype is real. Whether you read Sports Illustrated, NFL.com, The Athletic, toughest grade I saw was from Kuiper, and he really didn't rip him. He just thought he needed a pass rusher. Everybody else did the same thing. All these things make sense. This is rare. All the stars are aligned. Now, again, and I'll start building this as a theme. You got to get to the AFC Championship game or bust. I think they're going to the Super Bowl, but you got to get to the Final Four. You've got to.
Yeah. Browns fans, how do you feel? Does this make you nervous? This expectation? I mean, because it's a very strange expectation. It's a legit expectation. It's not one that we've put on ourselves. It's one that really is deserved at this point.
You got to get to the Final Four. You've got to.
You have to at least get the AFC Championship game, correct?
I think you really have to. And this team's too talented, Jared. It's time.
Well, and I'll tell you this too. And the way that this team is playing, there's a very good. Now, this is a team that finished in third place last season.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can finish, higher in that pack, they might not have to play, Kansas City or the like until that AFC Championship game. So,
attaboy, Kevin Atkins.
Oh boy,
attaboy.
Kevin Atkins on Facebook. Booked my hotel room. We see all day. Seriously, did. Get the hell out of here. Are you serious, Kev?
I got my orange Corvette.
I guess what's the worst thing that could happen? You go down there for a vacation, you hang out, and
it's fucking January, February. You know what, Kevin? I'm going to get an orange Corvette. I'm going to get it rented out. And I'm just going to start shining it. If the Browns go to Super Bowl, I will drive an orange Corvette from Connecticut to California.
Well, if I can actually save some money here when I get moved into my house, I'm going to put together a Super Bowl pot of gold for myself.
I think this is...
See if it happens.
Yeah, EJ, may the force be with you.
May the 4th. Well, what up, EJ? Comb the desert.
Look, the Final Four. This team is ready. This team is psyched. They have so many traps and things in place that it makes you feel secure. Injuries will happen. Some weirdness always goes down. But for the first time, Jared, I don't see the fail-safe. Is anybody – look, there's no more Sendejo, No more one. I hate to pick on a guy, but let's be honest. No more Sendejo. No more looking around being like Porter Gustin's got to come in and make plays. You actually have things. Final two, Javius would be good too. Obviously, I think they're going to Super Bowl. I really do. Like,
so do I.
It really, like, everything's really there. The only thing on this team, the only thing is ST, special teams.
Yeah. And really, to narrow that down, you can just look at kicker. Because I think they've got some potential with guys who can run it back, especially now. So Andy, kicker is something that I'm very confused on where their confidence in Cody Parkey is coming from. Or do they just expect to win games by 14 points and not have to worry about a kicker? Like, is that they can't be that cocky?
The only thing I'll say, we don't talk about it, but the third team for the Browns is also pretty blah last year on all phases, to be honest. Yeah. We really Prefer needs to step up his game too. He's got a lot more talent. As for Parkey, people who listen to the show know my stance. In a big spot, Browns score a touchdown. 2 minutes left. 19-17, they're up. Are you confident that extra points are going in?
I mean,
God forbid a game-winning kick. Ugh.
I'm not mistaken, right? He went 5 for 5, 6 for 6 in the playoffs, something like that. He made everything.
That is I love that hope. I don't want hope.
I'm just saying
that's nice. Yu Chang was hot in the spring too.
One thing, Andy, let's talk one last thing with the Browns, and I just want to get it out of the way because it pisses me off that we even have to discuss it. But because of what Vegas is doing with the odds, and they have placed the Browns in the running next to the Saints at a plus 1,200 to land Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to go ahead and say you're throwing your money away if you're betting anything on plus 1,200 Aaron Rodgers to the Browns.
Analytics tells you can start two quarterbacks. So you have Rodgers and Mayfield. Fuck up the whole team. Look, I am one of the biggest sympathizers to Rodgers. I like his play. I like how he flings the ball. I was a big Montana fan growing up. Royals take the lead 1-0. Fuck. A lot to be said. I thought and still think Rodgers had a chance to win that game against Tampa Bay and couldn't. I know he won a Super Bowl. I have lost a lot of empathy for Mr. Rodgers. I don't think he's handled this well. I don't think he's well liked. He's had some prickly relationships over the years with even in his family. I'm not saying there is nothing perfect here. Meaning there are always things, but Rodgers to me does not come off as very likable right now. And I think he's getting a pass from most of the press. Guy's talented. I have no interest at all.
No, and none. Andy, why would the Browns? You have a young quarterback.
Mayfield's our dude. Mayfield's our guy.
Who has proven himself.
Mayfield's our guy. Period. In a sentence. And Rodgers is a mess. Guy's talented.
He has the highest. This is why I don't understand why people don't understand how talented Baker is. Baker's career, and Jason Lloyd confirmed this the other day with us too, and I think we all feel the same way, which is Baker went through 4 head coaches until he's on his 4th.
Is that a lot?
Right. And how many different systems, and
25.
had to deal with Hugh Jackson.
He's got a book coming
and
out.
Finally has a guy stabilizing this team where he can now develop and grow. Baker, I think Stefanski saved Baker's career, in my opinion, and I think Jason felt the same way. We had talked about that. So Baker Mayfield last season had the highest completion percentage of 25 yards or more passes. Is that correct? Deep balls. He's got, and that's not the only stat that looks good. Baker, how many of those games? How many touchdowns did he throw in a half against the Steelers?
The game to me, the Steelers game is wonderful. The game to me, there's two of them. He won that game in Cleveland. I know people don't want to talk about that game.
The Bengals game was good too.
The Bengals game, but the Tennessee game, That was the game where it just all changed. The Bengals game was step one. People, we talk about this, I'm reminding him again. At halftime of Bengals-Browns in Cincinnati, Jared Watson, along with most of the people on Twitter, were saying, are they going to bench 6?
That was it. No.
It was bad. It was bleak. He was for WWE fans, he was on the Royal Rumble on the top rope, about ready to get pushed out. And he swung himself back in. And he kept fighting. The Bengals game was step one. I thought winning those games at home in that sloppy, crappy weather he didn't win the first one, but he won those last 2. And then the game against Tennessee was phenomenal. That was the game he blossomed. And honestly, he played even better on Monday Night Football. They lost. He was that fucking good. Giants, too, Sunday night. He was really nasty. Nasty.
Matt Barocious on Facebook. Hey, speaking of the Browns, I met Wyatt Teller, and his autograph is one of the nicest in the whole damn. It is. Teller's got a real clean. Yeah, he does. He's got a real clean autograph. He does. Teller's wife likes all of our stuff on Official Cleveland Sports on Instagram, which is another cool thing.
She's a cool lady. Cool dude. Cool couple. Good looking couple.
Yes.
Very chic.
Very chic. Oh, yeah. She's fancy. She's real fancy.
But it works.
Yeah,
he's country bumpkin. They're a sitcom waiting to happen.
Yeah, he can wear like the linen pants and the button down and carry a dead alligator over his shoulders. That's what he does. It's Wyatt Teller. So there you go. He's like I want to say a cartoon character, but I don't think that's fair. Something cooler than that.
I just put on my Bumble my Bumble profile, alligators.
But the point is, getting back to it, Baker's the quarterback. I don't fucking care what Vegas says. Baker's the quarterback. Enough of this. Aaron Rodgers, 38 years old. Let him go. Let him go. Have his great career. Finish that out.
Look, and by the way,
would the Broncos be a good place? Sure. The Raiders.
No. Keep him in the NFC.
Well, that ain't gonna happen. I don't think.
No.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think he's gonna end up in the AFC.
I don't want something dumb. I don't want Aaron Rodgers coming to Denver and fucking. I don't want that.
Well,
don't want it. Don't want it. I've had enough of those fuckers winning Super Bowls.
The Broncos aren't going to win a Super Bowl. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Who's their quarterback? I like.
Exactly. Does that team look like they are even ready to get their shit together? No, even if they, but that's the thing. Even if they brought Aaron Rodgers there, I don't know that Aaron. I don't know.
What would you do if you went to Pittsburgh? I would vomit. I'd be so fucking pissed. I heard a wild rumor about Pittsburgh today.
He's not going to go to Pittsburgh. They just redid the contract with the old guy that makes people feel uncomfortable.
Broken Ben.
Yeah. Don't worry about him going to Pittsburgh.
Grab your hotel and cry it out. Got rookie guards, rookie center, rookie left tackle starting. What could go wrong? They got Najee Harris, who's a very good player, but you have no line.
Again, everyone, right. Pittsburgh thinks they're going to go to the Super Bowl because they got Najee Harris.
I will say the Ravens, and I think the Bengals are going to be very, very. I think the Bengals.
How about this? I even think the Ravens reached on Villanueva at the end of his career. $8 million guaranteed, $14 million.
I don't blame him. I'm with you.
That's
I don't blame him. It is a reach. Fuck him. Let him reach. Fuck him.
I like Villanueva though, and there's a big military, presence in the Baltimore area. And
good man
for 5 years, so he'll fit in right out.
It's not his fault he's getting drafted, being picked by fucking terrible teams.
Yeah,
can't blame the guy. Not his fault. He's all confused. He's got yellow towels now. He's cheering for Ratbirds. Ugh, poor guy's confused.
Yeah, it's
very. Gonna be told Art Modell was a great owner. Fuck that. Fuck him. Fuck him. Villanueva, right. Enjoy guarding Clowney, brother. Or Garrett.
I ain't worried about it. So, wrapping all that up with the Browns on that wonderful weekend. Look, do you give them an A like everyone else does, Andy? Because I give them an A. Not that these grades matter on paper.
Oh, sure they do.
They got an A. It's an A. They killed it. It was such a great draft, and there was no pressure on them. They sat back and they were able to make a move.
And dime this draft. Fuck off. Don't
nickel and dime the draft.
What can you nickel and dime? Everybody bitched about linebacker. He got a couple. Everybody complained about. Oh
no,
my
but don't
gosh.
complain that they're not real linebackers. That's the fun
here
one.
we go. Now
that's
they're not
the fun
big.
one, right?
Oh my!
Yeah, isn't that fun? Isn't that fun?
Fine.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Everybody liked him, but they're a little skinny. All right, let's just.
No, I did. Owusu Koromoa is he doesn't look skinny. I'm sorry, he just doesn't. He's a big dude. He's not. Like I said, not prototypical.
He could be. He could be. I don't know if he will be. I forget the gentleman's name who played for the Steelers. That guy ran on. The guy ran over killed us for years from USC. God, fuck, long hair.
Yeah. Won
multiple Super Bowls. What the fuck was his name?
I don't know why my why is a T there? Can't think of his name. Fuck. It's with a T, right?
Someone on Facebook help.
He's stupid. That guy was great. He'd leap over the defensive line, catch guys.
Yeah,
in the
he did.
He'd time the.
Anyways,
the
I think JOK has a chance of being that kind of player. I really do.
He's athletic.
He's the athletic. And what Troy Polamalu, thank you.
Thanks.
Cut the nuts down, Kevin Atkins. But
I had a T. See, I was right. There's a T.
Yeah, Polamalu. He has the opportunity though to be that special. Now, Polamalu was super athletic, but JOK makes plays, and he has. Here's the thing I like about JOK when I was watching for the Irish. In big plays and big stops, guess who made it? That dude. Every time. I'm telling you.
In 2 years as a starter, he had 145 tackles and 25 of those for a loss, and he forced 4 or 5 fumbles.
And anytime I watched
4 or 5.
And for some odd reason, Northwestern was on a lot last year. And I told you this, Newsome is on your screen. Kick and play.
3rd and 4th downs are huge with him.
And again, for people who don't watch, and I don't blame you, Auburn couldn't throw the ball to save their life. This reminds me again of Peoples-Jones. Peoples-Jones didn't have a quarterback. This poor guy, Schwartz, Auburn couldn't throw the ball to save their life. I'm telling you. Boy. This is Peoples-Jones 2.0. And I think this kid could be better.
Schwartz just
may the Schwartz be with you, EJ.
I see your Schwartz.
I want my Schwartz jersey. EJ's probably eating sandwiches with Clark. Can't type. It's too much.
All right. So
Super Bowl.
We'll be Andy and I are booking our flights. We'll be down there.
Kevin Atkins, give us some links. We'll be
Airbnbs. They got to have some opened up right now. We
had a hell of a one in Cleveland. Good friend Dennis.
Here we go. I'm going to nitpick the city from things that I saw and things that I had a feeling were going to be a problem, and then I saw and I think they were. Parking. I think parking was an issue for some folks.
Normal.
Nitpicking, giving tickets where they didn't need to might have been an issue, but
that happens in these events.
Just let people have fun.
Here's my only thing I'll say to what Jared's alluding to.
If you're gonna open it up, don't screw people over. Everyone's trying to come out of this pandemic and finally make some money and do some good. And
the one thing that the NFL got away with is the catch-22. We want thousands of people, but to be safe.
Right. I know.
And that's tricky. That's not easy.
Very tricky.
It's not easy. And I thought the city did well. The tickets and whatever else.
Stop doing that.
I've learned in these situations, Jared and I did this. You got to walk or Uber.
Oh, that's why we stayed in Tremont. And I will say this, though. It took us a while to get an Uber back on Thursday night. We may or may not have been eating cookies and playing poker over at the Jack. Yeah, blackjack at the Jack until 3 a.m. when my phone randomly rang. Who knew that Uber did that? The app was just running. App kept running, and I had no idea for 3 hours. While the app was running, finding me an Uber, I was winning money playing poker. Came out even. Great night. Phone rang after my biggest hit of the night. Then where's Andy? I put my arm around a guy over at the craps table. Hey, Andy, the cab's here. Uber's here. Guy looks at me. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. Oh, you're not Andy. That's great. We're all wearing Browns jerseys. This is fun. It'll be fun to find Andy.
I was looking upstairs for Jared. Anyways, long story short, Jared won, had a big hand. I got 10s and 11s in blackjack, so I won $100. There you go. For you. And people play blackjack. If you don't get 21 or 20, the best hands in the world are 10s and 11s. You can double it down, as I like to say. So a lot of double down hands. It was fun.
Finally, one shout out to Forest City Brewery in Tremont and Matt and Jay, who were amazing hosts, allowing us to kind of take over their banquet-ish room, I think we can call it, with a little stage and set up.
And Jason Lloyd too.
Thanks to Jason Lloyd of the
and Holly Wetzel
and Holly Wetzel, who hung out with us and jumped on. Holly Wetzel, of course, does the other show with Andy, Set the Edge, and Holly and I finally got to meet. So it was a long time coming, and I'm glad we did.
It's just not a draft night; it's a reunion, or it's not a reunion.
It really was, and we had great food and pizza at Fahrenheit.
Yes,
at the end of the night on Friday.
Yes,
you got to head to Tremont and go over to Fahrenheit. That's a great place too.
Tremont's a good little area, fun area, fun area. All right. So if we analyze everything, do you want to talk about these other picks? Baker throwing. JC Treader. Do you care? They're not going to go do any off-season work until summer. I don't care. Do you care?
No, absolutely not. And you know what? I think no, screw that. JC Treader laid out the right argument. Now I'll say this: there's a lot of people on social media. This is why. Shut the fuck up. You don't play NFL. You don't play professional sports. Just because you played, T-ball when you were 5 and 6 years old. Just because you played a little bit of backup linebacker in high school or whatever it may be, shut up. These guys worked. This is their life. They made it to the top. They want to stay healthy. This is a 17-game season now. They want to do the mandatory. Back in my day, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
And I'm done. And I'm down
shit
analyzing.
Drives me nuts.
And I'm down. I'm not. You can ask me now. We are not, as we have in the past. But I got away from it last year. I'm going to say analyzing every second of preseason. Who cares?
Nope.
0-4, 4-0. I don't give a fuck.
Nope. I care about in between games 1 and 17.
That's right.
Let's go. Because you know what? I watched these guys win 11 games last year. And everything was on fucking Zoom. And they had COVID outbreaks and they dealt with ridiculousness. So, no, I'm not complaining about anything. All right, I'm done. We done? I'm done.
Yeah. Let's talk about our tribe.
I'm out of water.
Cleveland Indians.
No, watch it. So our tribe.
I've been doing a lot of hydrating for the past handful of days, Andy.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah. Definitely no carbs. So, look, here's the thing. The Indians have, to me, turned the corner in one way, which I was not expecting. Mm-hmm. They've hung around with some shitty offense.
Yeah.
But the league has shitty offensive problems. Example A, Francisco Lindor batting a healthy 162 today.
Boy, that's not going well for him at all. Did he have 0 for 21?
If he thinks
he was on an 0 for 21 streak.
If he thinks the Cleveland Indians media is rough, do not go on Twitter, Mr. Lindor last night. Monday night. That was when you're trending on Twitter,
right?
It's most times not good.
Right.
Most times not good. The Indians have found themselves, though, in a couple of instances. One, they have a nasty bullpen. Their bullpen's tremendous. They have a 1, 2, and 3. Bieber, Plesac, Savali. They both really developed. McKenzie's going through his stuff. Logan Allen's down. I think he'll be back. And tonight they got this Hedges guy. All right. They got some things figuring out. But the one thing that they're starting to do, which I want to make a big thing about, is where's his offense? Well, I have brought him up. I need to pound it.
Yeah.
Jose Ramirez is a very good player, folks. He's on his way to having a big season again.
Huge.
And the reason why I bring it up is because what I just let off with. Isn't it ironic how as Lindor leaves and Jose stays, Jose's having one of his best Aprils and into Mays he's ever had in his career? And Lindor cannot even be found in the stat sheet?
I believe I was one of the folks who said that's not going to be the big issue with the Indians, is Lindor leaving.
Jose Ramirez has established you're right. Jose Ramirez has established this lineup. And this new guy, who I didn't realize on the roster, Harold Ramirez, who played for the Marlins 2 years ago, Now, look, it's only
I
one
totally
game.
forgot about him too.
It's only one game. Kid's got some tude. Got some attitude. Like it.
Right.
Like it. Naylor coming around. Franmil Reyes has had a good 2 weeks. Good 2 weeks. Playing much better. Had another big one. Corey, yes, Corey Kitchen. Ring my Harold Ramirez bell. More Ramirez.
Yep.
More Ramirez.
Yep.
Anybody want to see Ben Gamble? Ooh.
You know what? Bring us all the Ramirezes. Anybody with
like
last name
more.
Ramirez.
Yeah. Rosario's, Ramirez's. Everywhere.
Let's do it.
Ed Rosario, the big home run. He's going to eventually hit. I think Hernandez will eventually hit. There's some things on this team that are working out. They have survived some things. Again, you can't get any colder sometimes these bats, but they survived it. And they're not terrible.
This is the thing. The stat that I love, and this is if they can get that starting pitching figured out on the 4 and the 5, is that they've jumped their run scoring average over the past 8 games by a run and a half to from what it was 12 games prior, over the 12 games prior. So they're scoring 5.3 runs a game now, whereas in the last 8 games, whereas the previous 12 it was 3.7. Yeah. So that tells you they're putting guys across the plate, and that was always going to be the issue. Now, how's that translating in their record? Well, they're 1 game above 500 right now, and like I said, they're treading water. They really are treading water, but
they have not played the easiest schedule. They played the Royals when they're hot. They played the White Sox a lot. Boy, here's the other reason why the doors opened. Let's open the door of opportunity. Help me. The White Sox have had 2 major injuries now. Roberts is gone for 3 or 4 months, and their other star outfielders out for the year. Those are not little injuries.
No.
So the White Sox can hit. That's the other thing about the Indians that I've liked. How many times did this? I mean, if people have done the show, well, here's the IR as of in early May. I mean, it'd be 3 or 4 people deep. Right now, it's Cam Hill and Lupo's back today, so everybody's back and healthy. That's the other thing about this team; they are a lot healthier. They are playing a lot more free, and that's the other thing I guess I'm starting to notice about this team. It's like we'd be grumbling about all these people injured. There's no one injured. My God, I look at the White Sox. I just feel. I mean, look, we don't like the White Sox because of the White Sox, but that Roberts injury is a big deal. That's your 2 starting outfielders gone. Oof. It's rough. There's a lot of opportunity, and the Twins stink. Jarrett, I'm not all the way buying it, but there's the door of opportunity is opened. White Sox are banged up. Twins stink. Does anybody think the Royals will win the division? Come on.
Well, I mean, so the Central's going to be more interesting than maybe we expected. And okay, that's fine. But here's the other thing. Where does that leave the Indians if they were to squeak into the playoffs? I mean, obviously it is so early to even fucking talk about this. Are they going to be able to compete against some of those big boys?
Here's the excitement. Karen Check, who I've loved. I profess my love for Karen Check. He's for fucking real. This guy, Clase, he's fucking real.
Oh, we know
Bieber.
That. He clocked the 2 fastest pitches, I think, in the past week, too. 101.7, something shit like that.
Remember Brad Hand? This is so much fun. Brian Shaw, even though he got banged up, is pitching well. I think these other guys are going to get better. Control's good. I like Whitgren, Boilermaker. Got tooth issue, no big deal. Missing front tooth, cracked right in half. Doesn't give a fuck.
We don't need that.
Kind of appreciate it. I'd be a nervous Nelly. I'd be walking around trying to get fucking false teeth in my mouth. Not that guy. I like this bullpen a lot. You have 3 starters. I will mention them again. Bieber, Plesac, Savali.
Yeah.
I've watched enough baseball. I think you can win with those guys. If you can somehow just find 1 or 2 more bats, and then maybe acknowledge we don't have a first baseman at some point. The Indians do not. That's my only real thorn. The Indians do not have a first baseman. That's glove and bat. Both. Both Bowers and Yu Chang are not first basemen, and they can't hit. I have no fucking clue what we're doing.
Well, and are we at the point too where, I mean, at least again, not to bring Jason Lloyd back up, but you know, we were talking about this with Bradley and him not being the answer either.
But at some point, you got to give. Here's my thing.
That's my point.
Or Naylor. I mean, here's my thing that really bothers me about.
Bring him up.
Here's my thing that bothers me about first base. Bowers and Yu Chang don't have gloves at first base either. So they can't play defense. They certainly can't fucking hit. Put Naylor there. Put Bradley there.
I'll be honest. Maybe this is just me, but I hate Naylor's arm in the outfield. From when at least early in the season, watching him, he can't hit a cutoff, man. He can't throw it in. I do not like him in the outfield. And he does. And I know I brought this up. He has that Manny Ramirez goofiness where he will do some
hard.
Shit. Hustles hard, but does some weird shit sometimes that makes you go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I hate to say this,
ignoring the head coach, ignoring the coach at third, and,
I know,
and running, blowing past him, and, you know, stuff like that.
I'll go a step further. I love Naylor's energy and his hustle. He does not have a defensive position right now. He really doesn't. His first bases are awkward. I agree with Jared. There's one or two outfield plays where you hold your breath, and once in a while he'll just really misplace a ball. Ed Rosario really misplaces a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Rosario. The defense for the Indians is shaky, and that needs to tighten up. But let's.
It wasn't always the case either.
Let's baby step this first base. It's time. I mean, if we're going to do the catcher thing where it's like Perez and Austin Hedges, hey, they can really catch defensively. You put up with their buck, whatever average. Fine. Folks, Yu Chang last night, I thought was about ready. I mean, nice is nice.
Yes,
such a nice
I know.
Man.
Love the guy to death.
Love the
really
guy.
do.
Guy looked like he's about ready to cry after he misplayed. I mean, he just totally like did not communicate at one play. It just looked like he's like, I'm ready. You want to come in for me? I'm good. I'm like basically going like, I'm out. Take care. I mean, like just ready to. Oh, and just as we say that, Naylor and I don't know who the outfielder was, but Ramirez just misplayed a horribly misplaced foul ball that should have been caught and cost them runs. It's amazing how we just talked about that with Naylor. Ramirez though also first. I just think with Naylor, I like his bat. They've got to find a spot for him.
Well, can't you put Franmil back in the outfield and put Naylor in the DH?
I'll go one more. I'll go one more.
I feel like I'm saying something silly when I say that.
I'll go one more. They really need Naylor's bat in the lineup. I believe that. I actually believe that because he's one of the guys who can hit in spots. But I'll tell you what, Eddie Rosario, glove, ugh. Ahmed Rosario, who can glove, but because they're moving him all over the field, he's all over the place right now. Jimenez is booting the balls at shortstop. Cesar and J-Ram are consistent, and you got Perez. I would say outside those three, first base is an adventure. Jimenez is booting balls, so is Rosario at short. The outfield, forget it. Miss cutoff men, dropping fly balls. I mean.
Boy, is there a better catcher in the game defensively?
Roberto Perez is nasty. So is Hedges. They rank 1 and 3. I think what did you say the other day? 1 and 3 or 1 and 4, and throwing guys out.
50% almost. 50% for Perez.
Johnny on Facebook, remember Brad Hand?
Thanks, John.
Wins the Super Bowl for Bradley to get the extra year. Wins Super 2. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I read it. That's why I didn't pull it up there because I didn't know what John was saying. John, retype that so I understand what the hell you're talking about.
Look. The Super 2 has
but I'm going to put
Powers
this one
and Chang.
up. Javius was with me. I was called a hater because I said Lindor wasn't worth the money he got. Boy, he got MVP money and he has never won an MVP. So
he got a Twitter explosion last night.
Of course he did.
And we'll make a simple observation. I do not believe Mets fans are happy. The Indians, though, have a great bullpen. There are parts working. I thought the win on Sunday was great. I was proud of Plesac. Plesac had not pitched well in his first 2 starts against the White Sox. He gutted that game out. He had the bases loaded, couldn't get a strike zone going, figured it out, got that win. I thought Sunday's win was great. And then last night's win, which was Monday, 8-6, the Royals go up 1, tie it up quickly. 3-run bomb by Merriweather. God, that guy always, Whit Merrifield always hits the Indians. He had a 2-run shot. Come back, bam, Franmil Reyes tied it up. And then to watch Eddie Rosario get a 3-run shot, then Naylor. I just like that when you just kept getting like, the Royals are going to get this game. The Royals are going to get this game. And the Indians really fought hard to win that game.
Yeah.
Good. They've had a couple of those wins now. And it's early, long year, but that's the kind of stuff that keeps people around. Monday night and Sunday night. Plesac, I thought that was so gutty. And then Ahmed Rosario, I will say this, the kid's speed is exciting. Jared, he had a triple on that inning. And then the White Sox, who also have defensive issues, goofed up the ball. Easy pop fly, just barely out of the infield. Drops it. Ahmed's paying attention. Bang, scores from third. There is some things. The speed for the Indians is real. They really run the bases well. As Tom Hamilton always mentioned, they're one of the best base sailing teams in the league. So there are some positives. Defense, first base, got to figure out the 5th starter. Okay. 5th starter is probably your least concern. First base is a concern. And then you got to figure out the defense. But there are some parts. And Shane Bieber's breaking records.
Well, oh, God bless. Is every one of his starts this year been 8 or more strikeouts too? Like, he is
nasty.
It's insane.
Nasty.
Final thought here, just to throw this out there too, $5 off tickets for select games if you've got your COVID vaccine.
Ooh, I should go.
Yeah.
I'll be busy.
There was something that came out just the other day, and I think someone who commented said that they were going up too. I don't see where it's at. I'm looking for the comment. Somebody
as you look for that comment, the Reds.
There we go. Ben Stewart said he's going up to see the
cool.
the Indians game on June 28th versus the Tigers.
Cool. Boy, Tigers are bad. Whew.
Yeah, enjoy that one, Ben. I mean that. Like, have fun watching us hopefully stomp the Tigers. Perfect.
They are bad. And that's going to keep the Indians in this division too. They've only played the Tigers 6 times. Twins look bad. That's alarming. That's the thing I keep reminding myself. It's like, I really think the White Sox could do big things, but if you don't have your 2 top hitters, I mean, they still have Jose Abreu, but my gosh, I mean, those are big 2 hits. I don't think it's I can't believe I'm saying it as I was not there. I don't think it's crazy now. Now they have a long ways to go, but I don't think it's crazy.
All right, let's the
Cavs? Here we go. Cool. I can't wait. Let's read it. Hold on. Cavs. Don't leave the room yet, folks. Let's break down the Cavs.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
They're not making the playoffs.
We're not breaking down the Cavs. The Cavs are breaking down. That's the way that goes.
Darius Garland did not play tonight. He's got a swollen ankle. Matthew Dellavedova, the stabilizing backup, looks like he might be done for the year because of a neck strain. Poor Dellavedova. God bless him. He plays hard. Can't shoot. Guy plays hard. Larry Nance, his chances of playing again this season are dependent on how long it takes for the swelling to go down and the pain subside in his fractured right thumb. Doesn't sound good. Dylan Windler, who I feel for the young man, is out again with knee surgery on his left knee. Take care. Prince recently underwent successful arthroscopic surgery. When he plays well, the Cavs win. I think that's a player we got to talk about more next year. For some reason, when the Cavs win, he usually plays really well. I think that's not just a coincidence. It's been a consistency all year. Prince is out for the year. Since he's been out, they haven't won. Hartenstein, who I've been really pleasantly, as along with other people, been pleasantly surprised. He got concussion, and so did Lamar Stevens. This week, they play the Suns, who they're losing to. They also play the Portland Trailblazers. They might be good. And then back-to-back against the Mavericks.
Yeah, so the Cavs are going to have a lottery pick, and that's all I have to say.
Speaking of drafts,
they'll have a lottery pick. They might not win another game this year.
In play. It is really in play.
And don't worry, though, because according to JB, they're making some improvements somewhere.
All right, so I'm ready to get down to a list of
Kobe
things.
Altman gone before this offseason. That's
Has to
all
be
I am
gone.
preaching right now. Kobe Altman, get out. I do not want him here during this offseason. I want him gone. I don't care who is there. I want him gone.
The Windler pick, nothing against young man. The Windler, yeah, the Nets are very safe. Kevin Atkins on Facebook. The Nets are very safe. They will not be coming down at the Rocket Mortgage this year. In fact, they might be burned down for any germs for next year. Kobe Altman cannot come back. Windler,
Kevin Love
Porter
isn't coming
Jr.
back either.
I think Kevin Love's done. I think
Latest on a podcast with Chris Haynes, he mentioned his love for Portland, which of course he had, and talking about playing with Lillard.
Or LA.
Who wouldn't want to play with Damian Lillard? If I was wearing a Portland jersey, that's special. That's playing at home. Okay. I'll see you, Kev.
Cue up Wild Thing. Anderson Varejão's back. Thank you, Corey Kitchen.
Varejão.
I keep saying the same wrong names. I forgot about him so much.
Sorry.
Varejão.
Varejão.
Can't pronounce. I'm tired.
By the way,
not play in 16 teams.
By the way, my opinion of that move, while I know what they're like, we know what they're doing. That's the problem. We know why they're bringing him. We know what this is for. The guy hasn't played in years. Do we love Anderson? Sure. Was it great when he was here? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What are you doing right now? Trying to trick people into buying tickets. Thank you. No. Highlighting, his jersey in the locker room before the game tonight. Like, look, I don't know what to do with that, guys. This ain't it. Do I like what you're doing is are you trying to make us leave a bad taste in our mouth with yet another Cavalier that had a great career here and now things aren't good? Like, do we need to do that? Kevin Love is already one of them. Kyrie did it to himself. Like, just let these guys.
I'm so surprised you're not excited about Anderson Varejão being back.
What for? What?
He's such a good player, good guy.
He's a good guy.
Nice
for what?
Great hair.
What are we doing?
Nice hustle.
What are we doing?
Didn't even play in the 16 team. Played on the other guys.
This is like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Oh, games in overtime. Ben Stewart.
And was kind of a dick about that, too, if I remember correctly.
Well, that's his job. He's prickly. Good job, by the way. Hey, Ben Stewart, good job with the updates. If they beat the Suns, holy cow, I'll do a cartwheel. We might have to go on Instagram Live.
They earn no cartwheels. No.
We might go on Instagram Live together. Talk about a game we watched the second floor.
All right. I'm done. The Browns are going to win the fucking Super Bowl, Andy. That's what I'm ending the night on. That's what I'm ending this podcast on. The Browns are winning the Super Bowl.
I got one more for you on the Cavs.
Why?
I like JB Bickerstaff. I do.
So do I.
He has got to figure out these rotations next year.
Well,
you play Dean Wade for 5 games.
Hard to figure out a rotation when guys are hurt all the time, Andy.
Dean Wade plays some days doesn't play at all. Lamar Stevens, when he was healthy, played for 6 or 7 games. Looked like he was going to be a solid rotation guy, then disappears. Dotson. He's got to clean up that rotation stuff. It's a little sloppy. I like JB. It's a little sloppy. He needs some help.
I think that's an understatement.
It's a little sloppy. Browns are really good. Hey, by the way, good job from the Tribe starter. I forget his name now, but he just got out of the 3rd inning. Bases loaded. Good job.
What are you talking about? The police act start tonight?
No. The young kid, the lefty. Forget his name.
Oh, I'm not looking at anything right now. I got to put the game on.
As you read off the announcements, Corey Kitchen, I do. Tampa, though.
To beat Tampa, yes.
Yes, but they're Super Bowl champs, and they got that annoying guy, 12, but everything will be fine. Some of these guys wouldn't make a good team. Oh, boy, JV as well. I like Hartenstein. This is the weirdest team to me. When I used to watch the Cavs at the end of 2003, I didn't like anybody. It's like burn the village. Is that entering on fire?
I get that.
There are certain parts of this team I don't mind. I like Allen. I like Hartenstein. I like Garland.
Garland and Sexton have
I like them. I like them. But boy, the thing that gets me on this team, JB's like, well, we're better on defensively. I guess they're 14th and they're still giving up 100 plus a game.
Oh,
but their offense is ranked in the bottom
All right.
bottom 3 or 4.
All right, we said it. I don't want to talk about him anymore.
And most of these stats, I guess we don't care.
Nope. I'm going back on Twitter.
Let's see. I got some more.
Back on Twitter. No.
What was your favorite Chetty Osman highlight from this week?
No. Oh, shit, I'm on Twitter. The first thing I see is Chris Fedor talking about Okoro. Get out of here.
I like him. I do like Okoro too.
I know. Yeah.
Poor guy hustles. Plays hard.
Yeah, and see, here's another guy that I like to follow. No names. Okoro, like him. Garland, like him. Still don't see either of them being future stars to build around. I think they both max out at being complementary pieces on a contending team. Yeah. I mean, yet to be seen, but yeah. All right. Go Browns. Can we get back to that one last time so I can be happy again? Go Browns. Go Browns. Great draft. A+.
Wonderful draft.
Loved being in the city for those 2 days.
Great job. Great job, Cleveland. Great job. I will say the NFL puts on a hell of a show. They really, really do.
And we'll see if these guys on paper can translate from paper to field. Andy, final thoughts?
It really let's see, the Cavs are only down, let's see.
All right, no, I said we were done with the Cavs.
No, wait, I got more.
Clevelandandbeyond.net.
116, 114.
I don't care. Clevelandandbeyond.net.
Tons.
Don't care. Clevelandandbeyond.net. Check out the podcast there. Follow us on Twitter at CLE and Beyond, at CLE and Beyond, and on Facebook, facebook.com/Cleveland and Beyond. And you can email us, Andy and Jared, JARID, at gmail.com. And don't forget, Andy likes to talk about the Cavaliers after almost every game.
I'll be talking about the overtime.
On Instagram, live at Official Cleveland Sports. That's the account. Go sign up at Official Cleveland Sports.
Also Tribe, also Browns. But hey, if you like to poke out your eyes and get sunburned, we can talk about the Cavs' last 10 games. It'll be great.
We are brought to you by Waiting for Next Year. Check out original
broken glass. It's fun.
Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. And also, we are part of Evergreen Podcasts. He's Andy Billman. I'm Jared Watson.
Who would you take on an island with you, Chang or Bowers?
Bye. Bye. Freaking bye. See ya. Take care. Bye.
Oh, the Cavs are down 7. Ah, damn it.
Bye.
We thought we had him.
Say bye.
We had him right where you wanted him.
Say bye. Say see you soon.
Got so many more thoughts. We haven't done a podcast like this in a while.
Take care, everybody. Talk again.
Who's going Final Four too?
Special guest next episode, possibly. We're going to leave that. We're not going to say who yet because I don't want to. I want to make sure that he can actually do the next episode. All right.
The cream of the crop.
Talk to you later, folks.
Off the top rope.
Hint, hint. Take care, everybody. Go Browns.
Cleveland and Beyond with Andy and Jared is a part of Evergreen Podcast. You can follow them on Facebook at facebook.com/Cleveland and Beyond, on Twitter at CLE and Beyond, or shoot them an email at andyandjared@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit the website, clevelandandbeyond.net.